Greetings, YouTube. I'm going to take you through how I caught 3 BTC buys in the last week. Let me dive straight into it. Usually, when you're buying or selling, you need to look at the direction of bias. I think I had a video about that. So let's go to the daily. The daily, clearly, price, we are still in a downtrend from the all-time high. We are still in a downtrend, but where price is coming from at the moment looks like a consolidation. So the last leg of the downtrend was from here to here, and then we've started consolidating in this area here. So I caught my buys around here. Let me go through it. So on the daily, usually before I enter a trade, I look at the point of interest on the daily, which is usually the daily order block or the daily breaker. So for this particular trade, I was waiting for price to tap into this order block here on the daily. So let me break it down and show you how I caught this trade. So go to the 4-hour. So that is the order block I was using right here. So that particular order block on the 4-hour, you see price tapped into the order block. Price tapped into the order block there and created this candle here. This candle here. This 4-hour candle right here. This. And when that candle closed, the next candle swept it. So since I know we are in a consolidation, like I said at the beginning of the video, I know that price is going to bounce off some point and reverse. So with that confirmation, with the sweep I had on the order block, which is on the daily, I knew there was an opportunity to buy. So I marked out, on this particular one, I used three scenarios. I used the candle range theory, then I used a major structure shift and a break of structure to the upside. So on the 4-hour, I marked the high of the candle, the previous candle that was swept. So that is the candle range high. And this is the candle range low right here. That's the candle range low. Perfect. So once we get that sweep, we go to the smaller time frames. I think I have these already marked out on a small time frame, so let me delete them. We go to the 1-hour. You can clearly see the sweep here on the 1-hour. This was the last low and this was the sweep here. So on the 15 is where I actually had my first entry. On the 15 and the 5 minutes. So after marking out my candle range high and low, price has to fill once they sweep the low. In this scenario, I'm trying to buy. So once they sweep the low, I wait for my market structure. So the shift happened with this double break here. These two here. And the immediate point of interest, which was my point of entry, was around this level on the 5 minutes, and I was targeting this high here, the candle range high of the 4 hour. So when you go to the 5 minutes, you can see it clearly. So with the entry on the 5 minutes, you need to have some kind of inducement. You need something like this before market gives you that double break, or even after, but you need to get an inducement. The price is going up like this. When you get something like this, then price needs to give you an inducement before it breaks the double structure, and then back to your point of entry, which is usually an order block or a breaker, so that you get this double break right here. You have this and you have this, and that is what happened here. So this becomes the inducement that is taken out, which was right here. This is my inducement, which was right here, this right here, and then the order block, which is here, and the order block is usually here, so that price taps into it to continue as I target my candle range high of the 4 hour. And that trade gave me it was a 1 to 6, yeah, a 1 to 6. Now, as that trade was going up, yeah, another entry formed still on the 5 minutes. Remember, I've taken this from the daily, got into the 4 hour where I found a candle range, and now I'm trying to push the market until it reaches the high, and then I'm out. And before it did that, it gave me another opportunity. Where did that come from? We had price, after giving me the first entry, there was retracement, then price gave me another double break and inducement there to push up. So the double break came with this high here taken out, and this high here was also taken out. And the inducement before the POI, you can see how tiny the order block is. It's on the 5 minutes. Once an inducement is created and price breaks multiple levels, this was one level, this was another one, and this was another one, this should give you enough confirmation that price is still going up, but it needs to get inducement liquidity that will be taken out, swept to trigger in. And you can see how precise this was. Once that happened, immediately price entered this and continued. And where do you put your stops? Immediately below, just below the order block right here. Because once price triggers you, it should continue, it shouldn't come back to play around. Yeah, it might, but there are high chances of you getting stopped out. So for this kind of strategy, you need to have a tight stop loss. And with that size stop, it gives you a better risk to reward. And you can see that the second trade was just a continuation. This is a 1 to 20. So on this particular Saturday here last weekend, I had a 1 to 26 RR. So let me show you the other trade that I took. I had 3 trades in this particular area, and most people were shorting this market, but I wanted to just buy it until we get to this, and that is where I got out from. And people started shorting it. Well, I wasn't in the market then, so the sweep got me that. So let me go to the 1 hour and give you the other entry that I had on this particular point of interest on the daily, which is the daily order block. So a daily order block gave me another entry right here. So let me take you through this. As price was going down, we had a major sweep. Because remember, I wasn't trying to buy out of the order block because it wasn't already formed. So I waited for price after getting my take profit around this level here. I waited for price to do what it wants, like it always does. And when I got this sweep here, I knew that an opportunity would rise because the swept the sellers, the initial buyers had been taken out by this and sellers were being trapped. So I knew that I would get an opportunity, and I think I got that order block on the 45 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was on the 45. So with that, still there's a double break here. There's this one, if you can see it properly. That was the first shift that price gave me, and after that it broke this level here. For it to show everyone that there are multiple levels taken out, to show aggression on the upside. So the first retracement was inducement, and this inducement actually took out this high. So as more confluence, I actually could have risked more, but I'm very, very cautious when it comes to risk management. I'm very cautious with that. So forgive my dog. So once we got this retracement here, the inducement, immediately I just put this my sell limit here, and I just got tapped into it straight up to take profit. My take profit level was targeting the 4-hour. We have a 4-hour breaker here. A 4-hour breaker here. That was my target. And I took this on the 45 and just held it. So you can clearly see it. It was simple. Right now I don't have any opportunity, but I'm sure market has to first take out some liquidity on the upside or downside to give us a good direction. But overall, Bitcoin is now in a consolidation, a massive consolidation. So we have to wait for more opportunities to arise. Yeah. So 3 trades, one with 3 points of let me call them strategies, because I used candle range theory on the first 2 candle range theory, then a double break of structure on the upside. Then on the second one, I used liquidity sweeps to take out a high, which was a shift in the market, and multiple highs, which was multiple breaks of structure. Then I got inducement, an entry to rise for 1 to 7. So that is how I got those 3 buys in a space of a week. So this was a 1 to 7 with a 1 to 26. You can do the math right there. Small risk, big reward. More risk, big reward. Yeah. I'll be doing more of these once I get clean setups. Thank you for watching. Peace.